Okay, class. Now this is generally what sort of character we are. So there are 4 main types: wizards, clerics, thieves or rogues, and fighters. But we're going to be a multi-class because we can, and we're going to be a fighter thief, which means we can fight. You know, we're decent in a fight, but we can also hide in shadows. We can pick pockets. We can pick people's. We can pick locks, and we can find traps and stuff. So it's quite a versatile character. The downside of that is that if you pick one class, you level up in it quite quickly, relatively quickly, and so you become quite powerful at that one class. Whereas you will never be as powerful in your separate classes as you would if you played like as one class. You see what I mean? But you do have the both classes to play with, so you're more versatile, but you're less specific-eyed, whatever. Specific-eyed. That's not even a word, but I'm going to use it. You get the gist. Anyway, yeah, we're a fighter thief. Now, our alignment is how we view the world, what sort of person we are. It's divided pretty much into good, neutral, and evil. We're going to be a chaotic, neutral character, which means that we do what we want. You know, to hell with the consequences. We just do whatever we want. You know, we see that and we want it, and so we take it, or we help that person and then we double cross them just because we feel like it. Where Variax is going to be quite an immature character because he's new to everything, so he's going to be easily led. He's going to be spontaneous, and that suits a chaotic neutral character. So I'll be quite unpredictable in what I do. Our abilities. These are our physical and mental attributes. They're pretty self-explanatory. Strength is how much damage you attack with in melee, and your how much you can carry. Your dexterity is your skill with bows, and how nimble you are helps with thief skills, and how well you are at dodging attacks. Constitution is how heavy you are, how healthy you are. So you can take more damage if you have higher constitution. Intelligence is your trying to think of how to explain it, like your ability to learn. That affects your mage spells, whereas your wisdom is like your common sense and your reasoning. I had a good analogy, I don't know where I got it from, but an intelligent person would know that fighting a dragon barehanded would be a bad idea, but a wise person would never even think to try it. And charisma is obviously how likable you are, and in game that can affect stuff like your rewards you get, or you can convince people to do other things that you don't want to. Oh yeah, and wisdom is for clerical type spells. Now these range from 3 to 18, generally speaking. You can get 19 in some races, like for example elves are more dexterous, so they can get a 19 in dexterity, but we get 3 to 19 in each. We can randomly roll and change these as we want, but as I've already rolled this character before, I'm going to go ahead and cheat. There we go, so I've set them all to 18, which is what the best I can possibly be and everything, but don't worry, because I'm going to reduce it to what it was in Baldur's Gate 2. So this is the character that I rolled in Baldur's Gate 2. So I had pretty decent strength, good dexterity, above average constitution. Average is like 12 to like 9 to 12 is about average. Anything below 9 you get penalties, and anything above 12 you get bonuses. I think it might be 13. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is the character we had. So average intelligence and wisdom, and pretty high charisma. He's quite a likable character. Now I'm going to change this slightly, because this is the version of Variax that was in Baldur's Gate 2, but that was assuming that he'd been all the way through this game first. So in this game he's a noob. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's very green. So we're going to give him some debuffs. We're going to reduce his wisdom to 8, which means he has less than average wisdom. This is because his background is that he's grown up in a place called Candlekeep, and he's spent his whole life there. Candlekeep's just like this fortified library, pretty much. It's almost like a priory. and he's been raised by a guy called Gorion, as we've already seen in the little introduction movie. And so he doesn't know a whole lot about the outside world. Had he been more of a studious type character and read his books and you know, studied, he might have a bit more of an idea about the outside world. But as it has, he really couldn't be bothered with that stuff, and he'd much rather cause trouble and, you know, play practical jokes on people and stuff like that. So his intelligence is 8. Sorry, no, his wisdom is 8. His intelligence is fine. He might have been a bit smarter had he tried a bit harder in his books, but currently his intelligence, you know, he's not stupid, but he's not the ace of the class either. And we're also going to give him -1 strength as well, to strength 15. So he's still, I mean, he's quite a beefcakey kind of character, you know. He's but I'm going to reduce his strength because in Baldur's Gate 2 he got that strength point from fighting and from adventuring, generally speaking. So yeah, I'll just reduce his strength slightly to represent the fact that he's not gone through this game yet. And we are done. Okay, skills. So this is where we choose which obviously which weapon we're good at. This is going to change from the Baldur's Gate 2 Let's Play, because in Baldur's Gate 2 he dual wielded katanas and long swords, short swords, stuff like that. He was a dual wielder. He's not going to be a dual wielder in this because the weapons in Baldur's Gate 1 are vastly different to the ones in Baldur's Gate 2. So there aren't any, I don't think there are any katanas in Baldur's Gate 1, so there's no point giving him katana. You might be able to buy them from shops, I'm not sure. I mean, the mod might have enabled some to be implemented into the game. But even so, the game's a lot harder when you first start out, because in Baldur's Gate 2 you start out about level 7, whereas in Baldur's Gate 1 you start out at level 1. So you're really bad at combat. So I'm going to make him an archer. I'm going to give him some short sword skill, because he does have some melee skill. He's quite decent in a fight. He is a fighter after all. But we're also going to give him the longbow. And we also get to pick his skills as a thief, and we're going to max out his open locks. You can also pick pockets and find traps. He wouldn't have found any traps in Candlekeep, so there's no point picking. It makes no sense. I mean, why would there be traps in his home? And we also get move silently and hide in shadows, which are sneaky skills. He hasn't set any traps before. He doesn't know anything about traps. And detect illusion. Stuff like finding secret doors and stuff like that, but he hasn't come across any of that either, so he's mostly just been going into places that he shouldn't be getting into, and so I'm going to max out his open locks. Also, that's going to be very useful gameplay wise for the planned party that I'm going to have. Okay, we're nearing the end of the character generation finally. His skin colour I'm going to set as like maybe, I forget what colour I had in Baldur's Gate 2, but maybe like a paler, because I think Drow are like that colour. So I think if I make him like an off white, he looks like he needs some sun pretty much from his heritage. He looks quite unhealthy, but even so, that's just the way he is. And we can just choose the colour of his garb. So we've got black, and he's got a white hood on, so white. We get to pick a voice for him, which is going to be this one, which is the same voice as I used in the second game and the expansion. And his name is the X. No, X. Very X. Good. There we go. Now we accept and we go into the game.